Okie dokie, part 2 of knarl binding. I'm just going to do a little bit of a brief intro. You will have noticed from the previous one, I've changed the colour of my thread, and I have knotted it. Now that is not the common way to join threads, historically speaking. Modern day, it really doesn't matter too much. Historically speaking, it would have been felted. The ends would have been pulled apart in their ply or their fibre strands, pulled apart and felted together. However, because my original thread, the lovely red, was done in cotton, and for the purpose of this demonstration to show you the different stitches, I'm now using a white, which I only had in wool. These two threads don't felt very well together, so we've just knotted them together. It's simple, it's easy, hopefully it won't distract us too much. But there you go, quick joining method lesson. Alright, so what I'm going to do with this one is we're now going to focus on joining the tail end, so this bit with the starting point. We're going to focus on joining that to our new part, the working end, in a circle, because most people will make mittens and socks and similar things in the round or in a circle. Because we're basically just making tubes for our extremities, aren't we? So all I'm doing here is I'm trying to untwist the work that I've done. Untwist it so it's a nice flat piece there from end to end. There will be some slight warping even if you're holding it perfect. Unfortunately, that's just the nature of the beast. It will twist, but we've just got to be very careful of how we manipulate it from here, because it's very easy to get frustrated. If you let go, it will retwist. Boom, retwisted. So try not to get too frustrated. It is fiddly. It's normal. Everyone experiences it. You're not alone. Not everyone is going to get it right. Even the experienced ones, I'm sure they experience it from time to time. I certainly experience that from time to time. Now, as I was in my previous video, I'm working off the thumb. I'm not working on the thumb. I could, and it might make this easier, but I'm not going to because I'm showing you how I do things. There are plenty of lovely tutorials out there that can show you how to do it on the thumb. Alright, so what I'm doing here is my flattened piece. All I'm going to do is I'm going to pinch this end and turn it around, bring it up and pinch it in this hand. Yes, it's all twisted now, but if I put my finger in like that, you can see it's still flat. Alright, now this tail end, I just need to push that through so it's out of the way. I'm going to hold on to that with my pinky and ring finger over there. Beautiful. Alrighty dokie. There's a little bit of excess I can see in there. Just going to pull it out. Okay. This is where it's a little bit tricky because I'm pinching with both my fingers here. You can see that. It's a little bit tricky. You can see here that my working end is currently coming in from behind. Not ideal. But for me, this is how I do it. I can't stress that enough. This is how I do it. I like to make a very secure join. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come up through these first two. It looks like one, but believe it or not, there is two. See, one and two. Two red loops from the old end. The working tail, this bit here, goes through the old tail. Alrighty. So you can see where that's pulled through. Alright, now I'm going to come back up in here. Trust me. This is 3 loops. 1, 2, 3. 3 loops. And pull. Now what that's done, I don't want to pull too tight because then I'll start tightening up these 2 white loops. But all that's done is that's just held that in place. Alright, so now I can pull that out and I have a perfect loop. And that's nicely held in place. Alright, so now what I'm going to do is I need to start working by picking up one. So where my thread went in just there, I need to go to the next stitch over, one old, and then one in behind as well. So I've got two of the old red ones, and I'm going to pick up two, when I can get it, there we go, the two white loops, my newest loops from the working end. Okay, I'm going to pull that through. And what you'll see here is I've actually created an additional loop just there. Now, 1, 2 of the old loops, and my two most recent white loops, and pull through. And that's all I'm doing. That is the entirety of York stitch. 2 old, 2 new. That's it. Just remember to keep your tension even, and while you don't want huge loops, you do want them with enough room that you're going to be able to pass your needle through them again when you come back around to this place in the next row. There's a lot of contention as to which stitches are the easiest stitches, and it mainly gets tossed up between York or Coppergate and Oslo. Now, don't get me wrong, I love Oslo. I work in Oslo a lot. But York stitch to me is hands down the easiest one. This is the one I can do in front of the TV. It's the one I can do on the train. It's the one I can do mindlessly. I can do this one for hours and hours and hours, and it just never phases me. Whereas Oslo, I have to think about just that fraction more, and I find it just a little bit too difficult to teach to someone who's really fresh with nail binding. So there you have it. And we can just continue along with this one until we're happy with the length of the tube. I hope that helps you. Have a good one.